What's up guys, and welcome back to an episode of the Marino Challenge Series, and we're ahead of a brand new season. Just finished obviously the summer transfer window, got Champions League football again this year after coming second in the league, narrowly-ish, missing out on the title. Not quite as close as it was the year before, but we were still very good, still quite far ahead of the rest of the pack. It was us and Roma. Roma obviously won the title after doing well in Europe last year. I hope to repeat that. Did well in the Cup as well. So again, I want to go one step further in everything really, ideally. But you know, these things have a habit of going wrong when they should be going right. So when you progress, they always take it's like one step forward, two steps back at times. It can be like that's what it was like with the QPR. Obviously, we got to the Champions League final, lost that, and then that following season we had a terrible season. Then we've bounced back. So hopefully that won't happen. But with regards to the signings, I got a transfer budget of, I can't remember, was it like 10 million, something like that? It wasn't a huge budget, and you see I've spent 27 million, making 3.8 back. A lot of these deals are over 48 months. Well, like a million up front, and then the rest of it's over 48 months sort of thing, or as close to that as I can get. Because now with FM14, month away, 2 months away. They've not announced a release date that I know of right now, but going on previous year's releases, we're really not far from FM14 now, so I really don't care about the future on this sort of save anymore. I want to win. That's where I'm at now. I just want to win, get Serie A, get Champions League and stuff with San Marino. National team are going up all hope with. I'll show you what I've done with that. I'll show it before the match. Today's game against some newly promoted team, which we should beat. I'll get that out of the way with, but the national team I've completely given up all hope with now. But this team now, I just want to build a team that can win now, so I really don't care about 48 months. But significant players have left. Jesse has gone from Million to Bastier, who have got a tycoon now, which is interesting. And Mbokani's left us on a free, as is Osvaldo, as is Dos Santos. Menez has gone on a free. Various other waste of spaces have gone. Nazari's gone as well. I think Pisa, there are today's opponents. Pisa, I think they're today's opponents. But players coming in: Newton, really good centre back. Lombardo is a new gen defensive midfielder, but will be converted to a boarding midfielder, no problem. Young new gen left back, but it's a lot of new gens as signed actually. Fabiano, I'm really pleased with this signing. He's Brazilian with Italian dual nationality, so that's good. Picked him really cheap from Inter Milan. Hopefully he'll be sold on for a profit if well, actually, no, I don't care for selling one for profit because I don't care about this anymore. Massimo Bruno, really good signing. But next one, Munoz, whatever his name is, has joined us back on loan. We had him last year, he's really good. Icardi has joined us on loan again from Liverpool after his very successful season. Well, I say successful, but I've got a note to show you. Obviously that's the gold dot. Thank you guys for telling me beforehand as to what that meant. I have a note to tell you about Cardi. It's quite funny. We'll have to look at his stats and then that note will make sense. Neil Maipai, I don't know what his name is. He's from Nice originally. And to start this game, you can pick him up for a youth contract for next to nothing. Peanuts. Absolute peanuts. And he went for a free. But I think it's a free, but quote free. It's like you have to pay compensation. But look at that, 25 games, 24 goals for Ruben Kazan. Now that 7.5 million for that is an amazing deal. Douglas Costa has joined us back on loan from PSG. So PSG did a lot of business with us. Alessandro Florenzi has joined us. Really good signing. Used to be at Roma, and obviously we got him from Bayern, but used to be at Roma. Italian international. He was a commercial signing. Nagamoto has joined us on a free from Inter Milan. Really, I just needed backup. I panicked and picked him up as backup because we had no backup to Wallace at all at right back because Crescenzi was just terrible now, he is, to be honest. And he was the best I could do. But then right after that, he got injured, so then I went out and managed to pick up Sakai on a loan deal from Napoli, which is a 10 times better player at this stage in the save. So really Nagamoto is completely made redundant, but we'll keep him, we'll use him because he can play left and right back, so that's okay. Pre-season fixtures, wrong screen, sorry about that. Pre-season fixtures, played Banfield, San Antonio Scorpions, Lieria and Shanghai East Asia. So Banfield, Argentinian, American team, Jose Mourinho's old club, and Shanghai East Asia. So good going off to China, who we are commercial. We got a commercial link there, not with Shanghai East Asia, but another club. So if that makes any difference at all, that's good. But today's opponents we should beat comfortably. With regards to the national team, played against Luxembourg, lost 1-0. Played against Georgia, lost 5-3. So no progression at all. Really fed up with them now. With regards to youth, though, we have had one half-decent youngster come through in this guy. 2.5 stars. Now he's a striker with finishing of 7. I know that is the kind of attribute. That is the kind of attribute that will make Joe Hart to Stegen. It'll make Neuer, make all these goalkeepers really lose some real sleep. I mean, I've got high hopes this guy will become Falcao. I think this guy has got so much potential to become Falcao with the finishing of 7. I've kept a couple of other Samaris players, but as you see, half a star. It's just not getting any better at all. Youth facilities are nearly done, apparently. Will be done relatively soon. Training facilities have been improved. Stadium expansions obviously have all been done. Juventus are no longer our affiliated club, so with all that done, telling you about what's happening in the save, we'll get on with today's opponents. Hopefully pick up a win. We could do with starting off really well, because I don't want this season to be like I was saying earlier about when we did brilliantly with QPR one year and then fell apart the following season after spending a lot of money, which is what I've done again on this. I've spent for San Marino 27 million or whatever it was. Is a lot of money, and I mean, we did the similar thing at QPR and we fell apart that year. Hopefully that won't happen and we can stay okay. I think the difference is, okay, we've got rid of a lot of players here at San Marino this year, but they're not important players. Whereas with QPR, I got rid of players like Simao, who else? Martins India, I think he left that year. A couple of role players. I want to say I got rid of Coleman. Matilios puts the goal in second minute. Good stuff. No, so we got rid of a lot of very important role players, whereas the players I got rid of this year, okay, Mbokani, you could argue, is a fantastic player because he did was great the year before, but last year he hardly featured, so he was not needed. So that's the difference. I think. I hope that'll be the difference. With regards to FM14, I'm not saying. All I'm saying is the team I've chosen is German, but it's not the German team you might expect. It's nothing like I think you'd expect, if that makes sense. It's not the ordinary thing to do. Bruno gets a goal on his debut. Massimo Bruno, good stuff. So yeah, and I've got some plans with it. It's going to be done. I don't want to reveal too much. It's a German team. It's not what you'd expect, and I want to manage it in a very what I classify as a very German way, and I'll reveal all of what I mean by that nearer the time when I announce what team I'm going to be. It's going to be a challenge, big challenge. It's going to be hard because of Bayern Munich and Dortmund. So there's a clue. It's not those two, obviously. That'd be really boring. So it's going to be challenged because of those two dominant teams, and it's going to be a long one. It's going to be a long series. So that's for the future. Whether or not any of you will guess who I'm going to be, we'll see. We'll see. I forgot to show the note about Icardi actually. While I think about it, big improvement. Don't think did we beat Juventus last year? Opening game of the season. I think we did. I think that was last year. I mean, I seem to get. I've been going through this save so quick because with QPR, because it's monthly. It takes me a lot longer to get through a season. Obviously, it's like what? I don't know how many months are in the season. I really can't bother to work that off the top of my head. It's a lot of updates, and plus because I'm doing added games as well, like cup finals, semi-finals, Europe, all sorts of things happening. So it's not structured. There's loads of updates, as you know. Whereas with this, it's opening, start of the season, mid-season, end of the season. Boom! I get a season done. I got this summer window done in an hour and a bit, 2 hours, maybe at a push, 2 hours. I did it in. I get through really, really quick, actually. And that's with doing things. So you can, I mean, QPR, when I record, I literally play the month. Often, at the stage I'm at now, I play the month for the QPR half an hour before or so, or during. I play for about half an hour and build up to the game. and then I'll save it and I'll carry on, go off and do something else. And then I have to come back. Then I'll go and play this save because it takes me. Okay, I'm really quick getting through it, but it takes me longer than it does to get through the QPR, obviously, because I'm playing half a season, not a month. And that really is rambling about nothing because that's got no real significance to this game at all. I think this season objective, obviously, after finishing second for the past 2 seasons and getting to the quarterfinals of the Champions League last year and getting to the semi-finals of the Cup, I think ideally you want to win the Cup, obviously, and ideally you want to progress to the Champions League, and ideally you want to win the Cup, obviously. Ideally you want to win the League, ideally you want to win the Cup, and ideally you want to progress on to the Champions League semi-finals. But I think it's not realistic at all, obviously, so I think objective, I'd like to win the League. I don't think we're going to win the League. I think Juventus have not got Conte in charge anymore. They've got a new manager, and I think they've spent big. Off the top of my head, I can't recall 100% what they did. But I don't think we'll win the League. I'd like to win the Cup. I think that's the logical next step for us to do, because we've not won silverware at all. Actually, I don't actually think I've won a single thing in terms of finishing first or cups. Off the top of my head, I can't think we've won anything. So that's the logical next step for us to do before I feel we can progress on to legitimately winning those titles, the leagues and the Champions League. We hammer PS. Yeah, okay. Right, notebook. Right, San Marino loan Icardi. He's joined us on loan till the end of the season. As part of the deal, we may purchase him for 5.25 million. Okay, Icardi has recently returned to Anfield after an unsuccessful loan spell with San Marino. Let's just check how Icardi did with us last year. 25 games, 11 bench appearances, 20 goals, 5 assists, 5 man of the matches, 7.26 rating. Unsuccessful loan spell. There was no transfer clause included in the previous loan deal that I can remember. I think it's the first time I've done it. Unsuccessful loan spell. 20 goals in all competitions, 15 league goals. Unsuccessful loan spell. Okay, I think that may be a slight bug, because I don't think anybody can begin to argue that's an unsuccessful loan spell, which is why I've brought him back, because it was very successful. But anyway, and there was also said about Douglas Costa, actually, and if we go back to his is not as impressive, but it's last year 6.96. Well, overall 24 games, 1 goal, 9 assists, 7 goals. 9 assists in half a season, a goal, and average rating, and getting 24 games under his belt. Again, that's not an unsuccessful loan spell, which is what they described it as again, which is just bollocks. That'll pretty much do it from me. I've really tried to cram a lot in this episode. Next game is Juventus, actually, then Roma. So 2 massive games coming up. But actually, I think Champions League draw is done on Thursday. I'm going to pause it and I'll come back for the Champions League draw just to let you know who I got, I think. Okay, the Champions League draw has been done. And we have been handed a tough draw, apparently. We've got Zenit again, Valencia, and Aston Villa. Aston Villa? Really? Really? Malky Mackay in charge of Aston Villa in the Champions League. Are they a tycoon? No? Not spent a lot of money. Who's this guy? Okay. I've no idea why Aston Villa... Hold on, did I just see what I think I just saw? Yep, they had Alan Kirbishley in charge. Yeah, I've got no idea how a club that's had Alan Kirbishley at any point in their time, in their history of their club, has gone to the Champions League again. Yeah, I've got no idea why we've got Aston Villa. Valencia have won La Liga very recently. Conte's now in charge of them. That'd be very difficult. Zenit are obviously very difficult, and Aston Villa. Now, if we don't beat Aston Villa, a club that's had Alan Kirbishley in charge of it at some point, we need shooting. Other teams in the draw, other groups, sorry. Man City, Hanover, Napoli. That's a bit of a group of death. Man City should obviously destroy it along with Napoli, but Sporting and Hanover are good teams. Bayern should walk their group. Porto obviously should come second. Arsenal and Barca should again piss that group. Madrid and PSG should piss that one, but Russia have recently won the Euro Championships, the one that's just happened this summer on this. So CSK Moscow could be good. But Sparta have also produced a couple of good, decent young new gens. Chelsea should walk that group with Benfica. Dortmund should just piss that group. Roma should just walk that group, in all honesty, with the squad they've got right now. And then, in theory, I'd say Valencia should win this group with. Should say Russia, Zenit, but I want to say us because I'm biased. Again, really, that bug's happened again. We now got Valencia, and right, I'm gonna have to go because this is gonna wind me up. Right, I'll come back for mid-season, which will be a game against. Hopefully, I'll come bearing good news. We'll come with a game against Roma. So massive game, top of the table clash. Well, from last year is, and I'll come back at the end of the season for Roma, and I'll see you guys next time.